This is why a quiet empath is extremely dangerous, and you don't want to mess with them. Today was a wild day for me. As the wind, I blew fast and fierce, feeling the power in my gusts as I moved through the city. I could see people struggling to hold onto their hats and jackets, and I felt invincible, unstoppable in my force. But as the day went on, something inside me shifted. The harder I blew, the more I realized the destruction I was leaving behind. I heard the crash of a tree branch breaking, and I saw the garbage cans tumbling over, spilling their contents across the street. I felt a sense of guilt wash over me as I realized that my strength was not always a force for good. As I calmed down, slowing to a gentle breeze, my thoughts turned to empathy. Just as I had to learn to control my power and use it for good, empaths also have a tremendous force inside them that can be both powerful and destructive. Empaths are not someone to be messed with. They have the ability to feel and understand the emotions of those around them, making them sensitive to the needs and feelings of those they come into contact with. However, if empaths don't control their power, it can be overwhelming. They may start to carry the emotional burdens of others, causing them to feel anxious, depressed, and burnt out. It can be challenging to maintain balance when so much of their energy is focused on supporting others that they forget to care for themselves. But if empaths can harness and direct their energies, they can have a positive impact on the world. They can help uplift communities and share their ability to feel the world around them with others. This is the lesson I learned today as the wind, and it's a call to action for all of us to realize the incredible force we have and to use it for good. We should all strive to be like empaths, using our power for good and focusing on finding our own balance to make the world a better place. While this metaphor may not be relatable to all, it's true that empaths are like a double-edged sword. They can be very kind, but they can be very dangerous if you're going against them. Especially when they're quiet, it really means that you shouldn't disturb them. It's essential to approach and interact with them cautiously and smartly. So, why can a quiet empath be dangerous to deal with? Let's take a closer look. Number 1. Quiet empaths can't be easily fooled. Have you ever been fooled by someone? It's a terrible feeling, isn't it? Well, if you're a quiet empath, you don't have to worry about that too much. These individuals are knowledgeable and always learning new things. Even though they may seem apathetic, they have incredible ideas that will blow your mind. They don't believe everything people tell them. Instead, they investigate to ensure they're not being fooled. Quiet empaths understand that it's easy for people to deceive others, and they take steps to protect themselves. This is why they're not easily swayed or influenced by others. Some may label them as weird or perfectionists, but in reality, they're just looking out for themselves. If you're a quiet empath, you can rest easy knowing that you're not easily fooled. Number 2. Quiet empaths won't tolerate mistreatment. Respect is a two-way street for quiet empaths. They don't tolerate mistreatment and always set boundaries for what they consider unacceptable. These individuals are particular about the treatment they receive because they value kindness and respect. If someone fails to treat them with the same level of kindness and respect they give to others, quiet empaths will correct them. They demand to be respected because they believe they deserve it. They won't tolerate people or circumstances that call their integrity and values into question. When someone negatively impacts how they are treated, it can bring out a side of them that's not always on display. But this isn't evil. It's important to stand up for yourself and your values. If you're like a quiet empath, remember that it's okay to set boundaries and demand respect. You deserve it just as much as anyone else. Number 3. Quiet empaths can tell when someone is lying. Do you know someone who can spot a liar from a mile away? If so, they may be a quiet empath. These individuals are adept at detecting when others are lying to them, which is why they dislike interacting with dishonest people. They typically look for tells in body language, such as shrugging shoulders, a lack of facial expressions, or fidgeting behaviors like playing with hair or pressing fingers to lips. Additionally, they may ask tricky questions to measure the consistency of someone's answers. If a person fails to be consistent, it's a red flag that they're making things up. Quiet empaths despise liars because they feel betrayed and taken for fools when deceived. Number 4. Quiet empaths are more observant and intuitive. Quiet empaths can be a force to be reckoned with, and here's why. They possess uncanny levels of observation and intuition. Although they can relate to others on an empathic level, they keep their observations to themselves and may use them if the situation calls for it. They can detect when others are suspicious of someone, thanks to their intuition. Being observant enables them to listen beyond words and see beyond actions. Quiet empaths believe in the power of observation and intuition. Spending time observing others helps them become more aware and connected to their environment and the people they interact with, making them their most empathic selves. It's hard to predict or challenge someone who's quietly observing, so be careful. Number 5. Quiet empaths speak out against any wrongdoing. We've all heard the phrase, actions speak louder than words, right? Well, when it comes to quiet empaths, they take that saying to heart. While they may not be the first to speak up in a conversation or debate, they won't stand by silently if they notice something is wrong. These individuals are passionate about doing what's ethical and don't tolerate selfish individuals who put others' welfare at risk. Quiet empaths believe that negative intentions can create a toxic environment that's harmful to everyone's mental health. That's why they aren't afraid to call out someone's wrongdoings, even if it means standing up to those who might disagree. This is a way for them to show that they care about people's well-being and feel more confident about themselves. If you're like a quiet empath and want to stand up for what's right, even if it means facing opposition, you're not alone. Number 6. Quiet empaths don't waste their energy without purpose. Time and energy are precious resources, and quiet empaths know this firsthand. They strive to be productive every day, understanding that life is too short to waste on unnecessary things. These individuals prefer to interact with people who have a positive mindset, as negativity can drain their energy levels. For quiet empaths, it's essential to focus on things that matter rather than procrastinating and doing nothing. They don't believe in being lazy, and they manage their energy and productivity levels wisely. By effectively managing their time, they have more energy to concentrate on their most important tasks. This increased energy makes it easier for them to remain productive for longer periods and stay focused on what matters most. If you want to be like a quiet empath and make the most of your time and energy, start by prioritizing the tasks that matter most to you. Number 7. Quiet empaths are unapologetically authentic. Quiet empaths are often underestimated because they're not as flamboyant as extroverts. However, that doesn't mean they aren't aware of their surroundings. They speak their minds and make decisions based on what they believe is right, even if it might disappoint someone. They value being authentic and won't apologize for it. They want to be accepted for who they are, not for who people think they should be. Constantly worrying about what others think and apologizing excessively can damage confidence and lead to unhappiness. Quiet empaths choose to be real instead of being socially accepted for being fake. Have you ever felt like you don't need to apologize for being who you are? It can be liberating, boosting your confidence, and encouraging you to be true to yourself. Number 8. Quiet empaths defend themselves when necessary. Quiet empaths won't hesitate to stand up for themselves if they're bullied or treated rudely. They'll take immediate action to ensure justice is served, especially if they've been harmed physically or emotionally. When they defend themselves, they're creating boundaries that everyone around them is made aware of. This not only shows self-respect, but can also positively affect their relationships and inner peace. Taking responsibility for their well-being is crucial for their happiness. They understand the importance of communicating their thoughts, opinions, and feelings in a clear and respectful manner. Doing so will enable them to establish and maintain personal boundaries. Sometimes, defending oneself is the only way to ensure that others act accordingly. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you needed to stand up for yourself? It can be challenging, but it's essential to prioritize your well-being and create boundaries when necessary.
So, to summarize today's video, first thing first, let's talk about what makes a quiet empath so dangerous. Number 1. Quiet empaths can't be easily fooled. These individuals are incredibly knowledgeable and always learning new things. They are not easily influenced by others and don't believe everything they are told. They investigate everything to ensure they are not being fooled by someone. So you can rest easy knowing that quiet empaths can't be easily swayed or manipulated. Number 2. Quiet empaths won't tolerate mistreatment. They value respect as a two-way street and always set boundaries for what they consider to be unacceptable behavior. They demand to be respected because they believe they deserve it. They won't tolerate people or circumstances that call their integrity and values into question. That's why they are not afraid to correct someone who mistreats them, giving you a good reason to think before acting disrespectfully towards them. Quiet empaths can also tell when someone is lying. That's right. These individuals have an incredible ability to detect when others are lying to them, making it difficult to deceive them. They are so adept at finding tells in body language or asking tricky questions to assess consistency that dishonest people tend to stay away from them. So if you are the type who likes to tell little white lies, be careful when you are dealing with a quiet empath. Number 4. Quiet empaths are more observant and intuitive. These individuals possess uncanny levels of observation and intuition. They can listen beyond words and see beyond actions, making it easy for them to detect when others are suspicious of someone. By focusing on observation, they have become more aware and connected to their environment and the people they interact with, making them their most empathic selves. It's hard to predict or challenge someone who is quietly observing, so you might want to be cautious when you are in their presence. Next, quiet empaths speak out against any wrongdoing. These individuals are passionate about doing what's ethical and don't tolerate selfish individuals who put others at risk. They aren't afraid to call out someone's wrongdoing, even if it means standing up to those who might disagree. This shows that they care about people's well-being and feel more confident about themselves. So if you are the type who prefers to avoid confrontation, you might want to think twice before doing something that might be viewed as ethically wrong by a quiet empath. And number 6 and 7, quiet empaths don't waste their energy without purpose and they are unapologetically authentic. These individuals value authenticity over popularity and won't apologize for it. They speak their minds and make decisions based on what they believe is right, even if it might disappoint someone. They want to be accepted for who they are, not for who people think they should be. And number 8, quiet empaths defend themselves when necessary. Finally, these individuals won't hesitate to stand up for themselves if they are bullied or treated rudely. They communicate their thoughts, opinions, and feelings in a clear and respectful manner, establishing personal boundaries to ensure that others act accordingly. They don't tolerate mistreatment and are unapologetically authentic. So the next time you encounter a quiet empath, remember to approach them cautiously and smartly. That's all for today's video, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. I will see you again in the next video. Have a nice day.